Welcome back to another Danielian lesson. Today we'll be looking at the letter R on page 85 in your Danielian. Lately we've been looking at some letters that do not look similar to the manuscript or print version of that letter. Today we're continuing that with the letter R. Print R, cursive R. We start with an uphill stroke from the red to the dotted. Then we're going to go down a little bit. Let me zoom in. We are not going down to the red, and we're not staying at the blue dotted line. So this one's a little tricky. We're just going to go down a little bit and then create a backwards J shape. So it's going to end in a tail like a lot of our letters do. It's got an uphill stroke like a lot of our letters do. The only funny thing is this straight diagonal line that connects those two pieces. So like I've said with a lot of our other funny letters, our Z and our S, part of this is just practicing and tracing it so that your hand gets more comfortable with the motions we're making. Red to blue, my normal uphill, down a little bit, backwards J is our tail, that little loop. Dotted, little diagonal, loop. So if this shape was upright, which it's not, but just to kind of help my brain, if it went straight up, it would look something like that. So think about a little line that you would make at the top. It's just slanted. Down and around. Down and around. Start at the red line, up to the dotted, little diagonal, loop. And our loop does not go all the way back up to the dotted. It doesn't cross over the red. It's just a tail so that we can connect to whatever the next letter might be. Down, loop, loop, loop. Red line, blue dotted, little line, kind of have almost like an upside down L shape here, if that helps your brain. It's kind of like an L, but it's slanted. And then this is a U shape, or I like to call it a backwards J shape. Either way, we're making a loop so that we have a tail to connect to that next letter. Dotted line, loop, dotted little line, loop. So I always like to go back and look at which I think my best letter is. And I actually think that mine got better the more I did it. I think these up here look a little funky. I think my best letter is this one. Looks the most neat to me. And now that I'm looking at this one looks crazy to me. Okay, so even for Mrs. Thomason, the more my hand does it, the more comfortable I get making that shape. So part of it really is just practice. Under the water, we've got a crab over here on the picture. Let's trace first. Under the water. Blue dotted, blue dotted. 1, 2 makes our N. Our D wraps around before going straight up and straight down. Loop. Here's our R. I did my uphill, my little line, my tail. And under, it's obviously at the end of the word. Same thing for water. So we don't have to connect it to anything else. Our little tail can just stop. Straight up, straight down. The loop of the H stays above the dotted line. E, cross the T. Water, W has an uphill. 2, 3. A, up, down, E, uphill, little line, loop, across the T. Let's try that on our own. Red first. We always start this bottom red line for our U. 1, 2, in. My D wraps around, straight up, straight down, E, R. T, my H stays above the dotted line, my E is below the dotted line, cross the T. 1, 2, 3, up, down, E, R. Awesome job. And I know I always say this, but I will always say this. If it looks like a big old mess, erase it and try it again. The whole point is to practice. We do not want our cursive to look like a bunch of crazy loops. Three large crabs in a hurry. I see an R in 3, an R in large, an R in crabs, and 2 R's in hurry. We're getting lots of R practice. H, here comes that R, up, little line loop. And here we see why we have that little tail. It's so that it can connect to those E's. Cross the T at the end. The loop of the L stays above the dotted line. A. Up, little line, tail. We go right into our letter G, wrap around E. Up and over. Remember, our C retraces its steps to come back around. And that's going to lead right into that uphill stroke. A. The loop stays above the dotted line. B. Here's our S from last time. Our U shape. And then we've got a double R. So up to the blue, little line, loop. Up to the blue, little line, loop. Up and over makes our Y. Our loop goes all the way down to that bottom blue line before crossing over. All right, last practice for today. Down below, we're writing 3 large crabs in a hurry. T-H. R. The tail leads right into my E's. Cross the T. L, A. Up, little line, loop, G, E. Up and over. Retrace our steps to finish our C shape. A. The loop stays above, and then remember we make our B shape from the bottom up. And that's going to lead us right into our S. He touches and makes his tail. I, N, 1, 2, dot my I, letter A. H, 1, 2. Here comes our double R. Up, line, loop. Up, little line, loop. Up and over makes our Y. Thank you for practicing with me today, guys. I look forward to seeing your page 85 get submitted onto our Canvas page.